Well, you said, I guess the best way to describe Biggie would be like Barry White. He could charm you out of anything, even your clothes.
Well, yeah, I'll attest to that. That works. That works.
Okay. But at the time, Biggie was still married to Faith.
He was.
But they were separated, I guess.
Yes, they were separated from what he said. So, I mean, you know, I'm just going off the information that he was giving me.
Okay. I mean, was that something that became an issue? Like, hey, listen, I'm messing with you, but you're still married. Because I remember there was that Vibe cover where it was him with Faith, like in the drop top. You know what I'm talking about? So like their relationship was being kind of pumped up in a way.
I think that came out like, you know, obviously back then you would shoot something and it would take months to come out or whatever. So I don't remember if it came out, you know, before we became romantic or during. I really don't. I know it was in the early beginning stages, but I mean, from his account, you know, they got married really fast and they separated. So I was going off of what he was telling me. And then I'm young as hell, you know, I don't really know. So I'm just like, okay, well, you know, you want to believe what somebody tells you that you like, so.
Okay, well, before you guys met, there was a whole quad shooting situation with Tupac. Mm-hmm. And there was also the rape case that happened, which he got convicted for. So Tupac was in jail while you and Biggie are getting to know each other. But at the time, Suge Knight is trying to get him out on bond and get him to join Death Row. Mm-hmm. And then the Source Awards situation happened. Right. Now, Pac was still in jail during the time, but Suge knew that he was coming out and he was joining Death Row. And that's when he got on stage at the Source Awards and he said, any artists out there that want to be an artist and stay a star, don't have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all up in the videos, on the records, dancing, come to Death Row.
Right.
Now, were you there when that happened or no?
No.
Okay. But Biggie was there, Un was there, Junior Mafia was there, C. Gutter was there, and backstage, it almost turned deadly. Right. Because this was a very serious situation. You know, Suge just dissed Puff on stage in front of the whole East Coast in New York.
Right.
And it potentially was about to turn dangerous. Right. Did you and Big talk about that after it happened?
Honestly, I don't recall us ever talking about that. And I don't remember the timeline well enough to know if that happened during, you know, after we met. I kind of want to say that happened before we met, but I'm not sure. But I don't ever remember having a conversation with him about that.
Okay, fair enough. So you guys are having this relationship with each other, but he's the rapper, you're the girlfriend.
Right.
You're not telling him that you also are interested in rapping and so forth until a situation happens with a voicemail.
Until a situation happens with what?
With a voicemail that you left for him.
Yeah. Right. Well, I wasn't really, I had, you know, I rapped when I was really young. So, you know, once I had my daughters, you know, that kind of just, I put that in the back of my mind and just was like, you know, I have to focus on what I have to focus on. But yes, the voicemails, you know, when he got caught with the girls and I had accessed the code is when I, you know, made a whole rap about everything I had heard on the voicemail. And, you know, he was like, you know, you really have skills. So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, okay, you're just saying anything to deflect off the situation, but he was serious. And so his advice to me was, you know, I think that you should try to write a rhyme every day. You're going to get nicer. You're going to get nicer. And he was serious. You know, he wasn't just trying to like placate me and say, you know, I'm just trying to get out of this situation that I'm caught in. He was that serious. So that's basically what I started doing. Like I rapped when I was in like, or maybe like right before middle school. And I used to write a lot of poetry, but I never really thought it would go anywhere. So when he said that, I took it seriously.
Well, right. The biggest rapper in the world is telling you that he's interested in your rapping. So right. You might as well take advantage of it at that point.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you started writing, and did you kind of see yourself getting better as you kept writing?
Yes. And he would critique it and, you know, give me, you know, pointers and I mean, he was always like, you really, like, for a female, like, he said he never met a female that could write the way I could write. But that was always like my, I guess, favorite part of the whole thing was the actual writing, not so much the rhyming, but the writing. And I think he appreciated that because he was such a prolific writer. So, yeah, I mean, the more I wrote, the better I got.
Well, Lil' Kim was signed to him as his female artist at the time. And from what I understand, he used to write for her all the time.
Right.
I mean, you even found like reference tracks later on of him, writing her raps and so forth. But I mean, that makes perfect sense. I mean, in terms of that being his artist. But would he ever write for you?
Never. He never wrote.
Never.
Never wrote for me.
Okay. Were you around Lil' Kim at all during this time?
Yes. Well, I mean, we were in the Get Money video together.
Okay. Well, before that, though, because we're going to get to that. Before the Get Money video, I mean, you are Big's girlfriend, and him and Lil' Kim are kind of having their little side thing happening.
I didn't
as well.
know that, though. I didn't know. So, yeah,
Okay.
I would come on the road, and we would see each other. I mean, we did the Get Money video together. Obviously, we would cross paths a lot. So, not a lot, but I definitely have seen her when I would be on the road, or, they may have a show somewhere and I'm there or whatever. So,